Hello everyone, it's Beardless Guardian here. Hearthstone miniset Audiopocalypse is launching today, and in this video I'm going to take a look at 6 decks that you might want to try out on the first day of the new game. If you missed the old Bearded Guardian, we can take a flashback in time with a word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Square Enix and their critically acclaimed massively multiplayer online role-playing game Final Fantasy XIV Online. I actually tried out Final Fantasy XIV Online for the first time when I was offered the sponsorship, and I had a great time with this game. I've been playing the free trial, which includes content all the way to Heavensward, the first expansion with no time limits. There's all sorts of content in this game. There's solo adventuring, there's group adventuring, and there's crafting, which is by far my favorite part of this game, as well as multiple other games. As a huge fan of crafting, it also helps that you can do all jobs on a single character. In this game, you don't necessarily need any alts. You can just do all crafting on a single character. The game is available on multiple platforms. There's Windows, Steam, Mac, PS4, PS5. You can start with the free trial, and then if you upgrade to the full game, you keep all of your progress, so you can just continue from there. And if all of this sounds interesting, there's a link down below in the description that you can click to download the game and get started. And then on to the decks. I largely see that this miniset is more of a refinement and evolution of the meta rather than a revolution of the meta. There are some cards that could prompt new archetypes, but it's hard to see how they would actually be able to work. However, there are a bunch of cards that do enhance existing archetypes. Obviously, some of them enhance already strong archetypes, so I'm not sure if the enhanced weaker archetypes are actually going to be viable. Anyway, one card that I really enjoy is Hollow Hound. This Hunter Death Knight dual class card, 6 mana 3/6 Undead Beast, Lifesteal Rush, and also damages minions next to whomever this attacks. And I really look forward to playing this in Handbuff Death Knight. Handbuff Death Knight is not very common, but Handbuff Death Knight still has some promise. It was played early on in the expansion, and there's no real reason why it couldn't be made to work again. And bunch of stuff buffing up your things, Hollow Hound giving you another good target for buffs. Also, because of the lifesteal and rush and cleave effect, it just gives you an excellent way to get back into the game if you happen to fall behind. So Handbuff Death Knight could be something after the new patch. Also, the miniset is bringing back Doomhammer of sorts anyway, and more for Paladin, I guess, than for Shaman. Born of the Windlord, I'm just so impressed by this card. 6 mana 3/4 weapon with Wind Fury. Whenever your hero attacks a minion, set its stats to 3/3. Okay, so yeah, you can clear up big taunts with this, but you can also go phase with this and Wind Fury effect, and then you have 4 Quel'Thalas in Pure Paladin. So maybe we could see the comeback of these more aggressive Pure Paladin archetypes, not the Garden's Grace style that seems to be more powerful at the moment, but just being more aggressive and ending games with Horn of the Windlord. Warrior is getting some of the better cards in the miniset, and they are going to support both of the current Warrior archetypes. I'm not sure if there's so much support for Control Warrior still, but when it comes to Enrage Warrior Jam Session, I mean, 2 mana, give a friendly minion +3/+3, deal 1 damage to all other minions. It's just such a perfect fit for Enrage Warrior. Gives you more damage, gives damage to minions. What is there not to like? And then there's the Backstage Bouncer. Taunt, Battlecry, transform a friendly minion into a copy of this. And whenever you have some other weaker stuff on the board, Backstage Bouncer just, 4 mana 4/5. Great stats for the cost. It has Taunt. It can give you another 4 mana 4/5. Like, that's such a potentially good card, and I think it could also go into Enrage Warrior, especially when Enrage Warrior can do a bunch of hand buffs, so that's gonna be a much bigger one, and then boom. And the good stuff for Warrior does not end there. Menagerie Warrior is also getting its share, especially the remix Tuning Fork. Like, Enrage Warrior already had the imbued axe, Enrage Warrior already had a weapon, but Menagerie Warrior didn't really have that great of a weapon. But now Remix Tuning Fork goes in, then Menagerie Warrior already has Sword Eater, so it has some weapons from that, and that means that Abyssal Basist could also be included. Hey, it's a demon, it goes well into Menagerie, you can make it cost less. Even if you don't have any other weapons, you can just curve Sword Eater into Abyssal Basist, because Sword Eater reduces cost by 2. So yeah, Menagerie Warrior also getting some buffs. Warrior getting some impressive buffs, I have to say, and I really expect a lot from Warrior from the miniset. Another deck that I think is going to get some major buffs is Totem Shaman, because Totem Shaman gets the remix Totem Carver and it gets the Backstage Bouncer. And both of these cards should clearly improve the performance of the list. And yeah, Totem Shaman, it's already a deck and it just might be really strong after the mini set. And finally, maybe something a little bit weaker but potentially interesting, because I've sometimes been playing this sort of Menagerie Priest. I recognize that the Undead Priest archetype is stronger, and Menagerie Priest, it sometimes does run out of resources. But Menagerie Priest also doesn't use any spells. And then there is Magatha, Bane of Music. Valkyrie, draw 5 cards, give any spells drawn to your opponent. So this would fit in extremely nicely into the Menagerie Priest list that I have been playing, and potentially Magatha could go into various others non-spell or very low spell count lists. So Magatha just seems like a very powerful legendary card. I mean, drawing 5 cards is just incredibly strong. So the mini set arrives later tonight, and these are some of the decks that I plan to try on day 1, and I hope they give you some ideas as well. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.